morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
Pair of panties. Oh, that sounds so good.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne.
Jeff, look at this thing.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic.
Super duper, gang. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 21st day of May, 2024. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show on a Tuesday. Marty Gallardar, Mark Rosen, John Bonus, a cast of thousands. Lots to get to today. Big day. Day before the Timberwolves' first round of the Final Four. Here's comedy. Jim Gaffigan, ladies and gentlemen, on the Power Trip Morning Show. So get up. Let's get rolling. Come on. Let's make it a good day. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
I saw a guy this summer at the pool. He was probably 60, had his shirt off, all body hair. For a second, I thought they were shooting a Geico commercial. This guy was so hairy, I had to stop my youngest son from trying to pet him. Let him smell your hand first, son. This guy was hairy, and he was walking around the pool with a confidence like he'd spent a lifetime dealing with hairy situations. And no one said anything, but everyone had the same thought. Please don't go in the pool. No one's prepared to see you shake dry. And this man walked right by everyone, and he sat down next to an attractive woman. And I was so impressed. That woman could look beyond this man's appearance and focus solely on his wallet.
The Beaver. Oh, that sounds so good.
Finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
Pair of panties.
For the warriors, never giving up the lead.
The Beezer.
To take it to the top. There's only one winner. You're never gonna stop. There's only one.
Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. It's the Power Trip Morning Show. I'm Corey Cove. That's Chris Hockey. That's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. Good morning, fellas. There's Max.
Hi.
How are we doing?
I'm great, man.
One step closer to the edge.
Yeah. We are?
I would back up a little bit then.
Yeah, don't do that, man.
Well, don't tell me what to do.
All right, Daddy.
I'm a daredevil. I got no scares.
I'm a rebel, Daddy.
I'm a boner, Dottie, a rebel. What he says?
I don't think he says I'm a boner, Daddy.
Oh, you don't know that.
Dottie Woodhawk.
Oh, my God, yeah. I wonder what she looks like now. Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You ready?
You think she's still with us?
Yeah.
What's she on?
I think we'd know if she died.
Dottie from Pee-wee.
E.G. Daily.
E.G. Daly's her name.
She's 62.
Yeah, man, she looks great. She looks nothing like she used to.
No.
Look at her. I mean, not that she didn't look great before. I wouldn't. If she was standing here beside me, I would not know that was Pee-wee's lady.
No.
Pee-wee's lady.
That was his lady.
Yeah.
Oh, she's hot.
Yeah, she's hot. That's Pee-wee's lady. Hey, lady. I wonder if Pee-wee ever,
What?
got his Pee-wee wet.
Oh, man.
Listen to this, man. Hold on. What I just saw something about Rob Zombie. Where the hell did I see Rob Zombie? Oh, man. I'm one step closer to the edge. Let's see. Corey, I just saw something about Rob Zombie on her list here. What could she have to do with it?
She was been cast in several Rob Zombie films, most recently in 2015 as Sexhead.
Yeah, that sounds like her. Isn't that a choice? Hey, Corey, Daly married poker player Rick Solomon in 1995. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's the guy that he slept with Paris Hilton as well, I think. And Pam Anderson
He cheated on Dottie?
Rick Solomon's like a high stakes psycho.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I can't believe he cheated on Dottie.
This guy's had a lot of wives.
Yeah. Why is he cheating on Dottie?
Don't cheat on Dottie. She's a loner, a rebel.
Yeah.
She was in Mrs. Bowen in Valley Girl in 2020 in the Emoji Movie. She was in Wreck-It Ralph as additional voices.
Oh, that's got to be a good paycheck.
God, she was great as additional voices.
Remember? She was in The Devil's Rejects as Candy. That's another Rob Zombie movie. Oh, she was Tommy Pickles in Rugrats Go Wild.
Oh.
She was Buttercup in the Powerpuff Girls movie.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
A lot of voiceover work for E.G. Daily. I did not think we were going to lead with the filmography of E.G. Daily. You never know.
Dude, I had no idea. She beat me out for the part of Captain Sticky in Recess. School's out. I didn't know she beat me out for Captain Sticky.
Yeah.
I think I went too hard for the role, though, because I went in there just covered in...
Yeah, you were method acting.
I was super sticky. Yeah, went too hard for it.
Yeah, it happens.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We know what you're saying.
Hey, if we're just spinning the wheel,
Human wheels.
because you can tell that we didn't have a lockdown topic for segment 1. Do you know they just finally, after 2 months, pulled that boat away from the bridge?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, really?
I saw that, yeah.
You know, that story was a giant deal for, I don't know, 3-4 days, and it just kind of went away. They finally pulled it away, and that crew has been on the boat the entire time.
Wow.
Because they had to have it manned.
Yeah,
That's one of
weird,
those
man.
maritime rules.
Yeah.
So,
It's like saying almost fire, right?
very similar.
Great point.
Never seen that movie, but it sounded like you knew what you were talking about, so I immediately agreed with you.
It's a good flick.
It's okay. You know what was odd, now that you say that, Cor, is I had an Uber driver not long ago that out of nowhere started talking to me about that. Even though I have on my Uber thing, please give me some quiet. I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break.
Yeah.
And he started telling me the truth about what really happened. You ever get that Uber driver?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
I'm on a text chain with that guy.
Yeah, he knew what happened. And it didn't surprise me that an Uber driver knew the truth.
Right. The rest of us don't, but the Uber driver does.
Yeah.
Did the government do it?
Obvi.
Oh, inside job. Got it.
Obvi. Yeah.
Man, it's always the U.S. government.
And it wasn't just that he knew what happened. He was laughing because he knew and nobody else did. You know that guy?
Right. Yeah, right.
Like,
Exactly.
the rest of us were idiots.
Wow.
I get the best Uber drivers, man. Gosh.
Well, you get the ones that are most in the know, and that's what matters.
They're one step closer to the edge.
Yeah.
They really are. This guy was.
You ever got in one where you're like, I think this guy's had more to drink than I have.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's been times I've been scared for my life.
Yeah. I got in one in Vegas a couple months ago, and the guy was, let's just say he was riding high, tapping his feet a lot, picking at his nose a lot, and I'm like,
was he grinding them teeth?
oh yeah, and I'm like, he took the long way, and I'm like,
super tramp.
I go, where are we going? And he's like, oh, this is the fastest way. I'm like, all right, and I made it, but yeah, it was scary. I'm pretty sure he was high on cocaine.
You're driving that train.
Yeah, right. High on cocaine. But yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's the old cab trick, right? Take the long way. Now there's no incentive for them to do that.
Well, there is in some sense where if it's surge pricing, the price isn't a set price. Did you know that?
Surging.
No.
I was in a situation where I got in an Uber and we had to go around the area. And I think it was Chicago. And it was, I got out and I looked down and it was like $84. I'm like, what the hell? And it's because like in certain situations when there's a lot of people taking Ubers, it goes like a cab. It runs like a meter.
I think it
Never heard of that.
just is more expensive when you order it. I don't think the distance changes it though.
No, it did. Because when I ordered it, it was
really?
like $40.
Oh,
And then it doubled.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
You guys ever feel ballin' and you go ahead and order the giant, like, Suburban just for yourself?
No.
Even though you're only going to Rainbow?
You mean Cub?
I say what I say.
Oh, okay. Listening.
I was creating a joke there.
Are there any Rainbow foods left?
I don't think so. And the only reason I know that is I'm the only straight white male,
Sure.
air quotes, watching Twin Cities Live, but they do this bit called like whatever happened to such and such. And they were talking about grocery stores. They talked about like Red Owl.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. Well, Rainbow was one of them that they were about to highlight. One of the options to highlight.
Yeah.
Like whatever happened to Rainbow. So I don't believe there are any left because they made it sound like it was completely past tense.
She was
Remember
a singer
Red
in
Owl?
Better Off Dead.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
remember that now. Sorry.
I never saw that movie. John Cusack, right?
I don't
Go
think I've seen
way,
that either.
Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn. That was my booger impression. Don't get in the way of me doing jokes again, Sauce, please.
A large Marge, would you?
Well, sure. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I didn't know. You could have been talking to Corey.
No, I'm talking to you.
Please ask Corey the questions. Don't single me out.
Corey, would you bed large Marge?
No.
Okay.
Well, but now we know.
Is it more interesting, though, when he says yes than when I say no?
Yeah, it's more interesting when he says yes because he means it.
All right, let me try it again. Ask again.
All right. Corey, would you bed large Marge?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, it's not as cool because you're not the town slut.
He likes to ask me because he likes when I say no because I don't say it often.
I don't think I've ever heard. Well, no.
Even Hawk would.
Yeah, no. I've heard you say no.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nobody else has.
No. No.
How many times is Chris not around and you'll ask, like, would Hawk do that? And I'll go, like, I don't think so. And you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if even Chris wouldn't. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think he would. What? And then it's like, then it's, I can't wait to see Chris. I got to ask him.
Yeah, and then I do. And he says
It's
sometimes.
Chris is right. Maybe the most surprised you get is when somebody tells you, I don't think Chris would sleep with that woman.
Yeah.
Whoa, are you serious? She must be hideous.
You ever, and this happens.
Oh my God, that's spot on.
It is. This
Yeah.
happens here at this radio station a lot because we all talk about each other behind their back so much.
Nonstop.
You ever accidentally catch somebody sharing an inside joke about you with somebody else, and you're like, oh, that's an inside joke about me.
That happened to me. I won't say which one.
Happened to me yesterday.
That happened to me about a month ago.
Really?
About a month ago, I caught one. I go, ooh, wait a minute. I think that was a shot at me. I was 90% sure.
Yeah.
I think that was a shot at me. I think they forgot that I was in the room. So I can't think of another one off the top of my head, but I think I caught one about a month ago. It happened to you yesterday?
Happened to me yesterday during
wow.
the show.
During the show?
During the show.
Who said it?
I'm not going to say you.
It was me. I did.
You were on the receiving end of the inside joke wink. The inside joke wink and kind of laugh.
Oh, so it was against me?
No, it was against me. You were the receiver from somebody else. So you were in on the joke about me, and I didn't know about it, but I saw the wink and nod.
Oh.
And
So
again,
it's
here's
Zach,
the thing.
Muss, Lieber, me, Max.
Here's the thing. I could be completely making this up in my mind, and I
Got it.
realize that. So that's why I don't bring it up, except for when we're on the radio. But I found it interesting. And then I thought all day long, well, how many of those are there about me that I'm not aware of? And now I'm hypersensitive.
All right.
That's why it's fun to do inside jokes about Sauce. His radar's never up. We could probably do it right to his face.
Yeah.
Well, and
You don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Except for on days when you do care.
Yeah, which are few and far between
Few,
now.
few.
I haven't had a lot of those in a while.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, you're right.
At least once a year I would get real mad at Corey, and that's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah.
Can't blame you.
I'm one step close to the edge. I'm about to break.
And then Hawk will be like, I'm sorry, man. I'll be like, that's all right.
Sometimes you have to say you're sorry,
Yeah.
even if you don't know why you're saying it, and even if you don't mean it.
Right, correct.
Paul, what percentage of the time in your entire life where you have apologized, do you believe you actually meant it?
Good question.
Take your
Wow,
time.
dude, you asked a good question. You're off to a good start, Gore.
How often when I say I'm sorry do I not mean it?
Or mean it, right, whatever. What percentage of the time do you think it's
It depends
sincere?
on who it's with. Like my wife, every time I mean it when I apologize.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that can't be true.
You just gave
can't
me
be
a
100.
wink and nod. You and I are on an inside joke
Right.
against your wife.
Once in a while, you know she's losing her mind, and you're just saying it to end an argument.
You just want life to
Can't be
over.
100.
It's probably high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mostly everybody says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they just want to get out of the situation.
Truth.
Right.
That never happens to me. Sorry about your face.
Oh.
Am I speaking?
That seems sincere.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
According to the internet,
Uh-oh.
Cub/Jerry's Foods bought out Rainbow Foods.
Oh, I didn't know you were being serious. I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yep, I could have told you that. I wish I'd known you were serious.
So are Cub and Jerry's Foods the same company?
Yep.
They are?
Yep. Jerry is Cub.
So
Whoa.
is it Jerry's Cub?
Jerry is Cub.
Cub is Jerry. Einhorn is
He's
a man.
God, what a great scene.
Hey, Johnny Pinos.
His team sucks.
Yeah, it's over.
We'll talk to John Bonus about his falling apart baseball team and what he thought about Game 7 of the Wolves and Nuggets on Sunday. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, it's 5:50. It's the Power Trip Morning Show. Johnny Bones, Pinos.
Hey, kids.
What a
Hi,
baby.
Bonus.
How the
What
hell are
a
you?
weekend, huh?
What a weekend, huh?
For your Wolves, not so much for my Twins. But
no, it's over for them.
It's early. They're only like
it's early.
3 games.
It's
into the
early.
season
Nobody's
or
going to pay
something.
attention to them for another, 3-4 weeks?
That's
Is that,
right.
hopefully?
Probably.
Did you go to Game 7 in Denver?
I did not go to Game 7.
That seems like something you would have done.
Are you going tomorrow?
Potentially. I'm working on that. We got season tickets. We bought season tickets yesterday for
next season?
year. Yeah, for next season.
Just
But it's not clear to me that necessarily is going to do anything for playoff tickets this year. But we got excited and decided.
good for you.
We used to have season tickets. We used to have half year of season tickets, and that was like back when KG was around.
right.
And we lived downtown, and we like doing stuff like that. And we saw some good ones out there, so we went and grabbed some yesterday. So
Are you on
we're
the-
we're,
on
we're
the
on
court?
the bandwagon.
Are you right on the court right beside A-Raj?
Yeah, that's where I am. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that is not where I am.
Well, good, because the terrible news for you, but the Lexus Club is completely sold out the rest of this
How about
year.
that?
We learned that
Oh.
preseason, basically.
You know
so
what would be good for
good luck
you?
getting seats.
You know what'd be good for you? The Pontiac Club.
the Kawasaki 800 scooter club.
I'm sorry. No.
All year.
Wow.
And those are not cheap. Let's just leave it at that. Remember how Hawk last segment you said sometimes you think you're the target of an inside joke?
Yeah.
Wonder if anybody else in this show feels like that.
I wonder-
24 hours a day.
I wonder.
Meat sauce.
I don't think they do. Let me
I don't
tell
think
you,
that
because I've been
person-
playing this damn drum
Yep.
sound effect
Yep.
for months now, and that person doesn't ever notice
No.
Or move.
or
Nope.
care.
Nope.
What are you laughing at?
Was it funny?
Why is Hockey dancing behind you?
Inside
Twice.
jokes when he's not here, and inside jokes right to his face, and they go right over his head.
Right over.
Anyway, good for you, Johnny Bones. You're living
Yeah.
the life.
So we were at we watched the game at Runyon's in
Oh,
downtown
great
Minneapolis.
spot.
Great
spot.
Oh my God, the wings so
Yeah, so
good.
good.
So good wings. Very, very packed at the beginning. Like we could not get a table, etc. Halftime, about 2/3 full. By the time the second half started, because a lot of people either had finished their dinner and left, or just given up. And then what that meant was that the second half was that much more fun. Is you've got a bar full of people that really, really wanted to stick around and believe till the bitter end, and kind of gradually it starts building. And I mean, that was not. They just went on a immediate run. That was we score one, we don't score one, we score one, but Nuggets just weren't scoring at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it wasn't a real, or they don't score, but they get 2 free throws. It was such a slow build that by the time it got to the end of the third quarter, the place was absolutely raucous. It was so much fun to be. I'm so glad I had gone out to watch that game.
Yeah.
Someplace.
Super fun. Do you remember when we were at a party one time, Maxo, and we were at a bar, And I said, why is John Bonus not here? And you called him, and before he answered the phone, he was walking through the front door.
John Bonus was like, order me a beer while I'm on my way. And by the time I ordered the beer, he was the one that grabbed it from the bartender.
Man, Bonus struts into a bar.
That was at 11 p.m. on
That's right. It was
Saturday night at Glick's, which also a great place.
Great
Watch
place.
a game. Oh, my God.
Yeah, man, the best.
And can you imagine, again, Sauce, I know your bedtime is what, 6:30, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
If any of you called me at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, how fast I would send that to voicemail.
Here's the funny. I think I told you at the time. I was in my pajamas. Chrissy has already been in bed, and I was in my pajamas, and it was like, I just got in my pajamas. They haven't been on very long.
It's like that shot in Batman where Christian Bale's looking at the bat suit in his closet, and he's like, yeah, I can put that back on again.
Yeah, let's roll.
That's fun.
Sunday night, and downtown just had so much energy Sunday night walking around and such.
I mean, think about tomorrow, man.
Oh, my God.
Tomorrow Man, is he a character like in Marvel?
Yeah, he's a brand new character. But like Friday is the beginning of a holiday weekend. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, and I mean, the Twins have an early game now. The Twins moved forward their game. Yeah. They were supposed to have a 7 o'clock game. Now they've got a 6 o'clock game. So, yeah, you got the Twins game starting at 6. You got the Wolves game starting at 7:30. It's going to be, and I mean, it's a Friday night, Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend. It's going to be just berserk downtown. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it could be cool, man. Could be cool.
But just for you, last time I thought that was Game 3 of the Nuggets series, where we were all so hyped to be down there. That Barrera was in the cage. He just wanted to be a part of it, which is, did not go as well.
I believe he's in the cage Wednesday and Friday this week.
Is it good?
That's exactly what I heard him say.
But is he broadcasting?
Oh, we're talking about broadcasting?
Yeah, not your BDSM cage.
Gerdsey said it yesterday. He put it in a way that I hadn't heard it described yet, but there are only 4 teams left that can win the title, and one of them, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
It's sweet.
Holy crap, he's right. How about that?
Yeah, it's surreal.
It's surreal.
And the Pacers ain't winning, so there's really only 3.
Yeah,
right.
It's only 3.
Correct.
It's weird to look at when you go to like ESPN.com and then you click on like the scores for the night. Then you go, oh, Wednesday, what's that? And then it says the Wolves and the Mavericks Western Conference Finals. That stuff's sweet, man. That never happens to us. We were talking about it yesterday. There's been points in us all working here where both of the winter sports teams were done near the beginning of April, right?
Yeah.
There's no way they'd be playing into June. And now, if the Wolves series goes more, if they go to the NBA Finals, they'll play in June. It's sweet.
Yeah. Max, would you have preferred that they faced Oklahoma City or Dallas? Were you rooting for one team or the other?
I wasn't scared of either one, but I think Dallas is the easier option. We have the wing defenders to kind of neutralize their best players, and their best players aren't two-way players. Kyrie and Luka are great offensive players, and Kyrie's a serviceable defender, but Luka Doncic is by no means anything you have to worry about defensively, and they don't have a match for Cat. They don't really have a match for our size. I've been saying I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I mean, we saw even when it was Jokic and Jamal Murray, they combined for 69 points. They still didn't win. You can't beat us with just 2 guys. So even if Luka and Kyrie go nuts all series, they're going to need help from more guys. And I mean, maybe that's PJ Washington. Maybe that's, Derek Lively. I don't know, but I can't see them beating the Wolves 4 times. I can barely see them beating them once.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, imagine that. Let's roll.
You buy it or not?
All I've heard is that the Mavs are a different team after the deadline. That once they acquired a couple big guys, they became a much more complete team. So,
but they're, as Maxo said, their 2 stars don't play defense. Luka plays one way. That's it. Luka is a liability on defense.
How about the Shark Tank Finals? A-Rod and Mark Cuban have both been Sharks. Of course, Cuban a longtime Shark. Just me. Am I the only one that cares?
I didn't know that A-Rod was on that show.
He was a guest shark a handful of times. Yeah.
Oh, kidding? A guest shark?
A guest shark.
Wow.
Maybe
A-Rod.
I'd not really watched that show.
I just started watching it like 9 months ago. It's kind of awesome.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of it.
Is the finals? I thought it was just like you go on and you try to get money, and if you get money, you're done. And if you don't get money, you're
it.
done. But what's the finals then? How do you advance?
No, I mean, A-Rod is kind of the owner of the Timberwolves. Mark Cuban is the owner of the Mavericks.
I see.
Shark Tank finals.
Oh, I got
I'm not talking about the show, I'm talking about the Western Conference finals represented by Shark Tank.
I did think yesterday, I wonder how each of the ownership groups that think they own the Timberwolves right now are reacting to this. What is Glenn Taylor after owning the team? Have we heard anything from that? First of all, have we heard anything on the mediation? Do we know who really owns this team yet? Are we close to it? And also, what's Taylor like after owning the team for 20-some years?
Well, I think that's why A-Rod goes out of his way to go to the road games.
Yeah, man.
I imagine that's true.
Because he wants to be there, right? Like on Sunday when they won.
Right.
He was the first guy all the players saw, other than their teammates, obviously. He hugged every single one of them. That's a planned and that's a strategic thing he's doing.
Strategery.
Front Page Sports is next. Power Trip Morning Show fan.
The Fan.
Oh, yes. Good morning, everybody. It is, it's 6:05. Tuesday morning. Tuesday tires may be hitting you. Here's the following.
In times of darkness, I can set you free. Help me be
Johnny Bones is here. We'll have Marty Galarnar a little bit later. We'll have
She's going to be so
Mark
pumped.
Rosen. Yeah, man.
Live for one could be instead of one could not.
Maxo's here. Boney's here. Yeah. All right. It's time for some Front Page Sports.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores for a limited time. You can get fountain sodas for just 79 cents all the way up to the old XL size and Frosters as well. So if you want something to drink at Holiday, get in there. Yeah, we love Holiday.
Holiday Wales, man.
Sure does.
Wailing going on.
It sure does.
His last name ought to be Jennings. It wails so much.
The Edmonton Oilers won 3-2 over the Canucks in Game 7 to advance to the Western Conference Finals. Edmonton scored 3 goals in the second. Late surge by Vancouver made it interesting. They scored a couple of goals in the third to make it close, but no cigar in the end. Connor McDavid and the Oilers moving on to the Western Conference Finals to take on the Dallas Stars.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sweet.
Go Stars.
The Sauce in the Parish versus the Field Bet. We each have 2 teams left, which is really, I don't want to say best case scenario for you, because best case for either of us is having all 4 teams left and having the other one be out. But when the season starts, you have 8 teams and I have the rest. So now that we're down to the Final 4 and we each have 2, that's a pretty good deal for you.
Yeah.
Right? We're essentially even.
You're going to try and buy your way out of this, Corey?
No, I still think the Rangers can do it.
Okay.
And who cares either way?
What's your other team besides the Rangers?
I have the Oilers.
Oh, okay,
so he has
cool.
the
So you have a good
Stars.
chance,
He has the Stars and the Panthers.
I have the 2 favorites.
Great.
We'll see.
I mean, I do, as of right now.
The Oilers have the best player, though, right?
Of course.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Panthers are plus 215 and my Stars are plus 260. The Rangers have the lowest odds of the remaining teams.
So potentially you could have this thing wrapped up by the end of this round of the playoffs.
Either one of us
One
could.
of us could, yeah. And I think that's happened before.
All right.
I think so.
I think 1 year I think I had Tampa and Colorado.
Florida at the Rangers, 7 o'clock on Wednesday. I doubt a lot of us will be watching that game.
Nope.
The Minnesota Twins, John Bonus, are falling apart. They lost to the Nationals 12-3. Lopez 5 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs. Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it's 8 hits, 7 runs, 5 strikeouts. Gave up a couple of home runs. Look it up on your phone. The Twins are now 24-23. They've lost 7 straight games, 6.5 games back of the Cleveland Guardians. They're just not scoring runs.
They were 7-13 to start the season. We're like, is this offense this bad? Well, then they go on the big win streak, go something like 17-3. And we're like, look at this offense. Here's what we were expecting. And since then, I don't know. They've scored a handful of meaningful runs in the last 7 in that 7-game. But they scored all of 1 run versus the 3-game set in the Yankees. Yeah. And then, the only time they really scored runs versus Cleveland was in garbage time, and now they've just gone and faced the Nationals are not as bad of a team as I kind of thought they were going to be.
Rosie.
But, there's still a team that you should take 2 out of 3 from. And we're going to hope that they're going to get back on the winning track tonight at Twins Daily's Social Club's watch party.
What time will that be?
That'll be at, let's see, the game starts at 5:45. We're going to start about 5 o'clock. So.
Yikes.
Did you plan this in the middle of the season?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's always fun. Listen, like I said, I like watching sports with people. I like watching sports with strangers is what I like, and I'm going to be watching sports with strangers. It's going to be fun.
The Twins season so far is exactly like the Wolves Nuggets series, right?
Yes. We just talked about this yesterday on the Patreon.
I wish you would send me the link. My guess is Sauce gets the free access. I'd have to pay for it.
No, I'd pay for it.
But I mean, they've been absolutely two-faced the entire way.
Yeah. It's been extreme one way or the other, and that's even more rare in baseball than it is in basketball, right? You don't get too high or too low in baseball. A really good team has a 60% chance of winning. A really bad team has a 40% chance of winning. And what we've seen is that this offense has been absolutely red hot, and it's just been ice cold. Now, let's see, 4 of the 7 weeks, and red hot for 3 of the weeks, and they're about a 500 team right now. And I don't know how they fix that other than, hope Royce Lewis comes back here within the next few weeks and it helps, revive the lineup.
Is there any update on his injury?
I think what we heard, usually we get the updates when they're home on a homestand, right? Usually the first day of the homestand. The next homestand begins Friday, so we'll get another update Friday. What we heard at the beginning of the Yankees series is, quote unquote, this is a big week for him. He's really going to start, testing that soft tissue with some real baseball activities. And hopefully, my guess is that if that went well, we will hear about a rehab assignment in the works on Friday. But, that would still put him out probably 2 weeks, something like that.
Gross, man. It's over.
If you type in Dix.com, it redirects to something called DixSportingGoods.com, right? So if you ever just are like, hey, Dix.com, let's see what's going on. You can get athletic gear and stuff, right? Uh-huh. If you go to BringYaAss.com,
I love this.
It sounds like it's going to be some kind of booty call website, right? Bring your ass.
Just bonus on it.
After Game 7, Charles Barkley told Anthony Edwards, incorrectly, falsely actually, that he hadn't been to Minneapolis in about 20 years. And Ant famously now said, bring your ass. Mm-hmm. If you type in bring, Y-A-A-S-S, bringyourass.com, it redirects to Explore Minnesota.
That's right, to the Minnesota tourism site.
What a genius move to just lock up that, the URL or the link. You don't have to use it very long. Just ride this wave. And for the short time that this is a thing, BringYaAss.com goes to Explore Minnesota.
Actually, Minnesota has a pretty good story about it. There were just some staffers who were watching that and immediately said, "Oh, well, we got to grab that one."
Yeah. That's paying attention, though.
Oh my God,
that's
beautiful.
Thinking.
Right.
Love the creativity.
Wonder if they had to come up any dough for Bring Your Ass, kind of like the domain.
Probably $30, John, something like that.
Oh, it's like $15. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like 15 or $30 to just see if I can't believe Bring Your Ass was available.
Right. Hawk didn't have it covered.
Yeah, you don't have that, Hawk.
Whoopsie.
Do you still have what's the balls?
No, Kick the Balls. I sold that.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money off of it.
How much?
High on the hog now.
Do you still have tada.com?
I still have that if you'd like to buy it. Yep.
How much?
1,400,000.
John Bodas, Charles Barkley calls you up and says, John, you're a man of the people. You love the city of Minneapolis.
I do.
I'm looking for a place to eat. Where do you tell Charles Barkley to go?
I would start with Butcher's Tail in Hennepin. I love that place, and their pork chops is one of the top 5 things. If you're looking for something a little out of downtown, but still in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, kind of a hidden piece, a neighborhood place, Broder's Pasta Bar. That's 2 unbelievable dishes.
Does Pasta Bolognese run that?
Yeah. Broder's is A+.
And George and the Dragon right around there, good family place. It's good. So I don't know how much Charles is watching his physique these days, but the Uptown Cafe with their Cajun breakfast, oh my God, so good. So yeah, I've got some recommendations for you, Chuck.
I don't think he's going to ask me.
No? All right.
Yeah, probably.
Where
would you recommend?
I'd send him a link to Dix.com. I mean, RaisingCanes.com.
BringYaAss.com.
Yeah, Bring Your Ass.
Man, Anthony Edwards, what a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll do What Really Matters. I do scores and stats around the world of sports, and Chris will change your life with something else. Marnie Gellner, who's probably still riding that Timberwolves high from Sunday night, will be here about 7. Rosie at like 7:30. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, Power Trip Morning Show. Welcome back. Here we go. Finchy on the 1-2 punch of Luka and Kyrie.
When you have the wizardry of Luka's passing, that brings into everybody is a threat on the floor when the ball's in Luka's hand. And Kyrie as well. I mean, he doesn't get as much credit for his passing, but his wizardry is his ability to create and finish his own shot, and particularly a tough one.
He's a wizard, Harry. Yesterday, the man himself, Mr. Finch, was on with Paul Allen. Who knows what the day holds for PA today? Find out. Stick around.
And in the interview, he made a really good point. Where he talked about how the two teams that made massive offensive and defensive changes with the trades they made with the Dallas Mavericks acquiring Kyrie Irving and the Wolves acquiring Rudy Gobert, that it took about 18 months, and now they're one of the final 4 teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
It did take a little bit of, they had some growing pains there, and obviously we all know Kyrie's story. He's had growing pains pretty much everywhere that he's been in the NBA.
He is a growing pain.
Right. Yeah.
He's not a declining pain. Like, it's not getting better.
Right. But he seems to have found like a little home there in Dallas, and him and Luka really genuinely do seem to enjoy playing with each other. Their joint press conferences are pretty entertaining, like cat and ants. So it's cool to see, but sorry to them that they're going to be in Cancun in about a week here.
Yeah. Well, it's not so bad either, though. Let's do What Really Matters, scores and stats around the world of sports, and Chris will change your life. He'll do something that's non-sports related that's more interesting.
Heck yes, Hogs Daddy.
Heck yes.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, Wolves and Mavericks, is tomorrow night at 7:30 right here on your home for Minnesota Timberwolves basketball, The Fan.
I can't wait.
The Wolves on DraftKings are 4-point favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel good about tomorrow night.
So do I. I think they're going to come out fine. I think it's going to be loud. Bonus is going to be screaming and drinking with strangers, which will be put on his tombstone, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome
never
environment.
met a stranger.
Yeah, he's done the stranger. It's going to be an awesome environment.
You're going?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Let's just say.
You didn't say anything.
We'll leave it at that.
What did you say?
You didn't say anything.
I don't know what you said. I'm sorry. I missed it because I'm not in that room with you guys.
How can you say, let's just say, and we'll leave it at that?
Yeah, you didn't leave it.
You didn't say anything.
Or did you mean to leave it at that of just saying something that nobody heard?
Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm not good at things. I'm going. And I bought my own tickets.
You terrify me.
Why?
Because of society.
Well, I think you're a fine dude.
That's really sweet of you.
Yeah, man. Do you want to go with Hawk?
Nah. I'd like to watch it on my TV so I can learn and really absorb it. I don't want people distracting me from the game.
Pull your hands up.
Over under 1 hour he watches of this entire series.
Over.
Yeah, thank you. Whatever your name is.
Over under 2 games he watches of this series.
Oh,
under.
You ignorant slut. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. And I'm gonna absorb and love.
Even Parrish is into it.
Of course he is.
What really matters is this.
Well said, Corey.
Yeah, well said, Corey.
In the 1800s, Scottish surgeon Robert Liston became infamous for a surgery that led to an astonishing 300% mortality rate. Why and how? Hello? He amputated a patient's leg in under 2.5 minutes, operating so swiftly that he accidentally amputated his assistant's fingers and slashed a spectator's coattails.
They used to sell tickets to that?
The spectator died because he scared himself to death. And both the patient and the assistant later succumbed to gangrene, marking the only recorded operation with a 300% mortality rate.
Wow.
I definitely wanted to stop you and say that math doesn't make any sense, but
Right.
now it does.
On a separate occasion, while performing another leg amputation, Liston accidentally removed a patient's testicles
Oh, my God.
along with the leg.
Oh, my God. Does he just close his eyes?
This dude's doing surgery like he's conducting an orchestra or something.
He was in a hurry.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you just want to tell the guy, slow down, buddy.
Yeah, where you got to be? Are the twins on later? You going to the watch party?
Right. Do you love drinking with strangers as well?
There are no such thing as strangers.
You're cutting a leg so fast, you don't have time to move the balls. Slow down.
Slow down.
Like the poor son of a bitch whose fingers got cut off. And he was going to be a doctor, too.
Oh,
and then he
man.
died of the gangrene, which sounds awful.
Yeah, I mean, on top of he didn't bother to actually clean anything, it sounds like. Right.
I just chopped the leg off and was like, all right, see it.
Yeah. He'd love to be
Can we
53
go back
years
to that? Like,
Go ahead.
one of the spectators was wearing coattails.
Yeah. Apparently, people like to watch surgeries back in the day.
So yeah, in Philadelphia, they've got a hospital there from Penn Hospital.
Oh,
They've
yes.
got the original one from like, I don't know, early 1800s probably, and they have a surgery room, and it's an auditorium. Like it's a circular auditorium where you'd have a surgery table in the middle and doctors standing around or sitting around watching it to see how you do it.
Yeah.
How does this work?
How do you do it?
How close do you have to be, though, to get your coattails cut off?
You got to be right in there.
I'd be pissed. I mean, fingers are one thing, but don't mess with my drip. Did I say that right, Max?
You did.
Well done.
You used it right, huh? Hey! You're one of the youths.
Yay!
So, but if he gets one of his coattails cut and then later dies of a heart attack or something because he got freaked out, is that really on the doctor?
Yeah.
You freaked out because your coat got cut?
Yeah.
You must have been clogging them arteries.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Well, first of all,
I don't
the
really-
coattails are on your back, so I just presume he was spinning away from the guy.
Well, there was blood, probably.
Right?
right.
I got to get the hell out of here.
like-
That I would maybe put on the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm typing in the following question. Can you be scared to death?
Good
Yes,
question.
It's possible to be scared to death, though it is rare. When someone is frightened, the brain releases adrenaline, which can cause the body to enter fight or flight mode, which can lead to adverse effects on the heart, including increased heart rate, blood pressure increase, massive erection, heart failure, or heart attack. So you can have a heart attack. You get scared to death so much that you have a heart attack.
He added that part.
What?
About massive erections.
I'm just reading Slut. No, I'm reading the magazine Slut.
Oh.
Sorry. It's not a very good source. I saw a lady get scared to death once by
Yeah.
a penis. That's what I was going for, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure I made that clear. Don't mess with my jokes.
Sorry.
I'm still writing jokes.
Don't mess
over
with
here,
his-
Okay?
I love your penis humor.
I wish you hadn't added humor.
Game one of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight. Indiana at the Boston Celtics, 7 o'clock. So again, between the East and the West, we basically go every other night for the foreseeable future. Starting tonight.
Nice.
East tonight, West tomorrow.
Hell yeah, man.
What really matters, though, is this.
Richard Gordon
Hey.
was another a doctor who was a friend of Robert Liston's. And he described Liston as the fastest knife in the West End, which is right over here.
Hey.
Oh. And Toby
Crazy.
Keats?
Where Toby Keats used to be. That's the West End.
Toby Keats.
And Florence Nightingale, who was a real person apparently,
Yes.
in her notes on nursing, she states there are many physical operations where ceteris paribus.
It's my cousin.
I can't find ceteris.
Whoa. Your mic's
The
up.
danger is in
With your
direct
drip.
ratio to the time the operation lasts. So Florence Nightingale is saying it was better back then for the doctor to be real quick. That's why it was such a big deal that old Robert Liston could do it in 2.5 minutes, because then you could close him up, get the bleeding to stop, right?
Interesting. But they hadn't figured out yet that it's about the cleanliness of everything as opposed to like, it's just exposed to the air too much. Right?
I mean, come on,
Right.
Robert Liston hadn't washed his poopy hands.
Oh, no.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He was diving in with fees.
Imagine being on the operating table and you see your doctor with a stopwatch.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're the doctor, but it seems to me like you might want to take your time, take it off my nutsack.
I think that is what you say when you see the stopwatch is, all right, go fast, but watch the nuts.
Right. At least just let me hold the nuts, please.
Yeah, let me cover them up.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my wife come in.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? My lover.
Yeah. Lawyer Lambert?
Really, anybody.
Seriously.
Would you please
Hey, you with the coattails. Come over here.
Hey,
This guy hates me. I still want him to.
Hold me balls.
I still trust him more than you right now.
Florence, hold my sack.
Yeah, hold me balls.
He calls her Flo.
Yeah, that's right. She sells insurance now.
Yeah. Good for her.
Well, I wonder what the success rate on amputation was then. It must have been unbelievably low.
Right?
Yeah.
Like last-ditch effort, obviously, but still just probably not going to work, but we got to try to cut off your leg to even give you a chance to survive.
Well, it sounds like they just did it anytime. Like anytime you had any type of ailment with your legs, they're like, all right, guess we got to cut them off. Because what was it, a couple weeks ago we were doing What Really Matters, and the one guy, they was like, you need to get your legs amputated, and he just said no. And he was totally fine.
Oh, yeah, the guy that went on to play tennis or whatever?
Yeah.
Forgot about that tennis guy.
He just said no.
Absolutely not. He saw how badly it was done.
Listen to this, Blank. Listen to this. This is Flo Nightingale breaking it down. Robert Liston was 6'2", and he operated in a bottle green coat with Wellington boots. God, she had the hots for him.
Yeah. That's a huge bitch.
He sprung across the blood-stained boards upon his swooning, sweating, strapped-down patient like a duelist and called out, quote, "Time me, gentlemen, time me." To the students craning with pocket watches from the iron railing galleries. Everyone swore that the first flash of his knife was followed so swiftly by the rasp of saw on bone that sight and sound seemed simultaneous. To free both hands, he would clasp the bloody knife between his teeth as he broke the bone.
I wonder why it was gangrene.
This son of a bee was a serial killer.
What's he in a hurry for?
Like I said about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The quicker you did it, the less you bled, so there was a good chance you didn't bleed out.
Think about that.
We all did.
There was a time where
5 minutes ago
you had to do surgery fast so you wouldn't die.
That's what.
No, I know.
That's the whole point of this conversation.
No, I get that. I'm just saying. Like, when they first started doing surgery, they were winging it. That's sad and scary. Sorry, I'm just catching up.
Think about it, though.
I'm listening to the show on DVR.
You know Robert Liston.
Think about this, though. Honestly, it must have been like a race against the clock, because if it didn't go well, you probably died.
That's the point. See, are you on DVR?
It is. That's the same thing.
Are you listening on delay, too?
Who already said that? All of us?
I'm just catching up, man. It's fascinating. I'm listening. I'm taking in the information.
Kind of.
It takes a little slow for me to process it, and now I'm back together.
Yep. Yes, fascinating. Is it my turn?
Time me, gentlemen.
Yes. Time me, gentlemen. We're going to see how long it takes Sauce to understand what I just said.
Watch the nuts.
Oh, I heard the nuts part.
Not that this surprises anybody, but Justin Jefferson MIA at OTAs, and it sounds like he's still waiting for a contract. But again, we talked about this a year ago. He wasn't at OTAs last year, right? The voluntary stuff, right? He's not going to do any of this until he gets a deal, and he shouldn't.
No, he'll get paid. It's just a matter of time.
We have been saying that for over a year, though.
Yeah, but
I agree with you, but I still am like, well, it's not 100%. There could be some weird things that go south, but I think the market has increased since this time last year.
Yes, true. But I also think, though, that if they were going to trade him, it would have been at the draft, because you're not going to trade him now for assets you can't use for a year.
Yeah, but what if it's up to him? Right? What if they have no intention of trading him, but all of a sudden he says, this ain't working, I want out? Then you don't get to pick the time that he says that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thanks. You know what another good point is back in the day, surgery had to be as fast as possible. What really matters is this.
Listen to this, Blank. At an address by Dr. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Is that? Anyway, to the
Sounds
Boston,
like an author.
It
right?
does, yeah,
Right?
it does, doesn't it? To the Boston Society of Medical Improvement on February 13th of 1843. his suggestion for hygiene improvement to reduce infections and mortality from perpetual fever, quote, outraged obstetricians, particularly in Philadelphia, where you were just talking about.
Yeah.
In those days, quote, surgeons operated in blood-stiffened frock coats. The stiffer the coat, the prouder the busy surgeon.
Of course.
Man.
Quote, pus was as inseparable from surgery as blood. Quote, cleanliness was next to prudishness. He quotes Sir Frederick Treves on that era saying, there was no object in being clean. Indeed, the cleanliness was out of place. It was considered to be finicky and affected. An executioner might as well manicure his nails before he chopped off a head.
Wow.
The connection between surgical hygiene...
That just couldn't be more Philly.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the truth.
They're not beating the allegations.
The doctors in Philly are just...
The connection between surgical hygiene, infection, and maternal mortality rates at Vienna General Hospital was only made in 1847 by a physician named Dr. Ignaz Philipp Semmelweis from Hungary. After a close colleague of his died, he instituted the hygiene practices that had been exhorted by Holmes, and the mortality rate fell substantially.
Interesting.
How about that? Man, just filthy. Boy, look at that guy. He's covered in blood and pus.
He must be great.
And pus.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Look at that guy. He's covered in blood and pus. There goes my hero. What was the quote? Cleanliness is prudishness?
Yeah.
Isn't that one of your grandpa's old
That's
sayings?
what he used to say.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sayings, too, man. Yeah. One of these days on my last day working here, I'm going to tell you all grandpa's sayings.
You almost said one the other day with the wrong people in the hallway.
I sure did.
Yep.
All right, more of What Really Matters after this. Marnie Gellner in a little over 20 minutes. Rosie in a little under an hour. John Bonus is still here. John Bonus until what, 7:20 or so?
That'll work.
Right on. More of the Power Trip after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
Johnny Bones has the coolest stories. Welcome back, everybody. Power Trip Morning Show 642. Here we go. It's Tuesday. It is the 21st day of May. Johnny Bones and then Marty Gellner and then Mark Rosen, the Maxo. Of course, you got Saucy and Corey over there. When do we go to Fargo? That's next week, right?
Next week.
Okay, cool. Do you want to talk about that on the air, by the way, Boney?
Sure.
You guys ever heard of the Barnes Museum in Philadelphia?
No.
Okay, well, as a What Really Matters, Johnny Bones is going to tell you all about it because it's a fascinating story.
Do we have... Okay.
But not yet.
Now?
Not yet.
Okay, wait.
He tells you, he's going to say, here's what really matters.
This is going to be really important before that.
Yes.
Scotty Scheffler was supposed to be in court today, but they're going to bump it back until June 3rd. So his arraignment on multiple charges stemming from that incident last week during the, or I guess I should say before the second round of the PGA Championship. Supposed to be today, but it's going to be bumped back to June 3rd. I guess his lawyer has a scheduling conflict. That was the reason for the bump back.
That must make you feel good,
I didn't
right?
know that was possible.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was possible either. So now it's June 3rd.
Sorry, guys, I got a family vacay.
It'll get...
I know you're worried about going to jail, but I got to get my tan on.
The lawyer did tell ESPN that a not guilty plea will be entered.
Yeah. It's just...
Good idea.
It's just a ploy to get them to think about it and possibly just drop the charges. That's what it is.
Oh, what would you know?
I wouldn't, but I talked to Hawk's daddy.
And he knows?
Oh, he was kind of busy.
What really matters is this.
Johnny Bones?
So if you go to Philadelphia tonight, one of my top two things that you see is the Barnes Museum in Philadelphia. The Barnes Museum in Philadelphia is not a well-known museum, I don't think, but in the general public, but it's probably the most impressive collection of Impressionist art you will ever see in your life. And it is stunningly comprehensive.
I'm going to put you on pause.
Okay.
When we talk about that kind of art, we're talking Renoir, we're talking Picasso, we're talking Matisse, we're talking Van Gogh, we're talking Impressionist art, some of the biggest names you've ever heard in art. Go back.
That's right. That's because Impressionist art in the late 1800s was being mocked endlessly, right? It was a totally new thing. Before photography, your ability as an artist was your ability to make something look exactly like it did in the real world. Once photography came along, these other French artists started coming along saying, no, it's also about how you kind of feel about things and how you see things, right?
Yeah, how you perceive
So anyway,
it, sure.
It was being mocked endlessly. It was really being mocked in America. It was being mocked by the French, where mostly started. It was also really being mocked in America, and it was really, really being mocked by the Philadelphia Art Museum and their patrons. There was a Philadelphia doctor who loved it, and he went over there to support those artists, and he bought hundreds of impressionist paintings, for all of which were less than $100,000, right?
Total.
At the time. Total, right?
Jeez.
And then in his house, he would end up, maybe a 12-room house, 16-room house or something like that. Whereas like the Philadelphia Art Museum will have like an entire room dedicated to the one Van Gogh they have, right? He's got like 9 Van Goghs.
Incredible.
Right? And he would have, like, on one wall, there would be 10 paintings, and like there'd be, and he'd arrange them symmetrically so that like you get to see how Van Gogh does a portrait versus how Manet does a portrait, or how Cézanne does a landscape versus how Renoir does a landscape. And he deliberately arranged them that way, and he felt that's how you should absorb art, is to kind of get a sense of what the artists are doing with this thing. Well, as a result, this guy has an incredible collection of art. I mean, he's got something like 50 Picassos.
Unreal.
Right? Right. He's got hundreds of Renoirs. He's got maybe 60 or 80 Cézannes, and they're all arranged like this. And his house used to be
this place.
Yeah. Well, interesting you should say that. I mean, his house was an hour and a half or something outside Philadelphia, and it got to be, when he died, because the Philadelphia Art Museum and their patrons had absolutely mocked him the entire time. His whole goal in dying was to make sure, by then, it had all switched.
Well,
everybody knew exactly how valuable these were, right? His whole goal was to make sure they never got a hold of them. So, of course, they got a hold of them. It took them like 80 years, and they had to go through all this stuff. And now they basically had to build a complete replica of his house in downtown Philadelphia, Center City, Philadelphia. It's about 3 blocks from the Art Museum. And you go in there, and it's stunning. I mean, it's overwhelming, right? And the documentary, there's a documentary about how they got their hands on it called The Art of the Steel. I think it's available on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still available there or not. Anyway, it's a great. And, it's, honestly, you go there for half an hour or 45 minutes, you're full. It's the kind of place where my son, who has got no interest in art whatsoever, he's 9 or 10 years old at the time. He's there for 10 minutes. He's like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to go. And I said, okay, well, just do one thing for me. I said, well, on this wall here, which painting do you like best? And he's like, I like this one. This is the one I like. And I say, okay, that one is by Cézanne. Really super famous painter, right? I said, now, turn around. You can't see the names and titles of the paintings very well. Tell me which one on the other wall is by that same guy. And he's like, he looks over for me, he's like, well, that one. And looks, because now he knows what Cézanne looks like. He knows what Cézanne style is, right? And I said, okay, now, as you just walk into a room, you got 16 rooms, just go around and pick out the ones by Cézanne. He could absolutely do it.
That's really cool.
Wow. Yeah. He's also got an IQ through the roof. I mean, your son's a freak.
No, I mean, listen, Cézanne's got a style, and it is a very different impressionist style than Renoir, who's bubblegummy. And, there's just a lot of, you can't help but come out of there feeling like you know impressionist art. And...
this guy was a genius.
Or what Picasso. I mean, you can walk into a room and identify which ones are the Picassos. You can identify in a room which ones are the Manets.
It's just
it's really it's delicious on the sandwich.
Yes, it is.
So anyway, I would absolutely, and you usually need to get tickets ahead of time, but you could probably get them on that day. And trust me, you don't need to budget more than 45 minutes to have now. You could spend 6 days there, but you'll get full. You get full in a hurry. It's like going to a buffet.
And by the way, this is like not ancient. He lived from 1872 to 1951.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow.
Right. I mean, he was just buying stuff when nobody was buying impressionist paintings. Like he made his money early off of something that you give babies, like a drug that you give babies to keep them alive or something that was really popular. So I don't know. It's absolutely a must see.
Really cool.
Even if you're not into art, it is an unbelievable thing to check out.
It sounds insane. It's also just a good investment. A lot of people say that what he did is the past version of collecting Lego sets, and that if you buy the right ones in 2022 and beyond,
sure.
If you just wait,
sure.
Eventually, you.
Even though people are mocking you at the time for throwing your money away on it.
No, none of us mocking it.
That doesn't sound right.
By the way,
you just wait it out another 80 years, and you're going to be in good shape.
He went into business with a German chemist named Hermann Hill. Created Argerol, I don't know, a silver nitrate antiseptic, which was used in the treatment of ophthalmologic infections and to prevent newborn infant blindness caused by gonorrhea.
Yeah. I don't practice gonorrhea.
I got no silver medicine.
Infant gonorrhea? Oh, no.
That was a weird time for me to sip and go. Yeah. I'm sipping as you're going, infant gonorrhea.
It's a terrible name for a band.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about
Anyway, thank you, Johnny Bones. I'm going to watch that. I almost said diarrhea.
Yeah, once you watch the documentary, you will absolutely want to go see the museum. But
this guy's a genius.
I would say, yeah.
Well, good for him, man.
And he really did a nice job of trying to protect those paintings from, and they somehow got around it some years later.
Do you know what the most valuable one in that group is and what it's worth?
I don't know. I mean, none of them have been sold for 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I would think, there's one that is worth, $1 billion, probably.
$1 billion?
I don't know. What's the most expensive painting that has ever gone? I mean,
well, Van Gogh's Starry Night is estimated to be worth $70 to $100 million.
Okay, well, that'd be. Wow. I bet you there are multiple ones that are worth $500 million in that collection.
Does the most expensive
part of your heist?
The Mona Lisa, $970 million. Sullivant Mundi is worth $450.
I don't even know
Wasser's
what you're trying to pronounce. It just isn't right.
Wasser's Le Challenge is worth $138.
You have a Le Challenge speaking.
The card players, Corey's favorite painting, $250.
His trove of more than 2,500 works is currently valued at an astonishing $30 billion, according to the Smithsonian website.
I mean, if this isn't my heist, I don't know what is.
I don't know what you're wasting your time on other heists for.
$30 billion.
You can just walk through. Is there security?
No.
Are there cameras?
That's what it says here. It says he didn't believe in security.
Yeah, it says very easily stolen.
If I just grabbed one off the wall and walked out, would anybody stop me?
Probably not.
But really? Said, I'm taking this to be cleaned.
I mean, it is Philly. The cops might have better things to worry about.
That's true, too.
Yeah, but what if you say...
On the other hand, if you've got that museum in the middle of Philadelphia, it's got to probably be pretty well guarded. It's not like nobody in Philadelphia has ever thought we should steal this stuff.
Yeah, good point.
You might have to worry about someone on the street attacking you more than the police getting you.
Fascinating.
So,
all right. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
That's real good.
You guys remember Devontae Parker, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
He's retiring after 9 seasons. 31. Calling it off.
Well,
he was good for a minute or two.
Yeah. He was all right.
You need to think that through.
Wasn't he the one that was...
Go ahead.
Wasn't he Teddy Bridgewater's teammate at Louisville?
That sounds right. I bet the timeline works out. That sounds like it might be right. 27 career touchdowns, 369 catches. 31 years old. What really matters, though, is this.
Teddy Bridgewater's teammate.
He was.
Yeah. There you go. In 1967, Donald Campbell met his demise in his turbojet engine speedboat called the Bluebird K7. He was striving to surpass the water speed record, aiming for speeds exceeding 300 miles per hour. Now, here's the weird thing. The evening before his attempt, during a card game, Campbell drew the Queen and the Ace of Spades.
Oh, great point.
Recalling that Mary, Queen of Scots, drew the same cards before her own beheading, he shared a fearful premonition with his mechanics, who were also playing cards with him, expressing an ominous sense that he was destined to get the chop the next day. He crashed. The wreckage from the crash remained undiscovered until the period between October 2000 and May of 2001, a span of 34 years after his incident.
Wow.
Campbell's body was found in his blue coveralls with no head.
Come on.
Oh.
He was decapitated.
Why do people keep losing their heads?
I have a similar story.
Then we tattoo him.
Pretty similar story.
How you do?
Yeah, almost every time I get dealt 2 cards, I have this overwhelming sense of doom that I'm about to be out of the tournament.
Well,
doesn't matter which 2. Ace Queen offsuit, for sure, I'm out. That's never going to hit.
No, that's not good.
Wow. The guy called his own shot.
he did.
Then he went like jet skiing or whatever you said.
Yeah. Yeah, he went jet skiing.
Jet ski.
Whatever. Man.
Yucky. I wonder where his head's at.
Like emotionally?
Brilliant. That's funny.
T. Higgins is not expected to be at Bengals OTAs. Remember, he's one of the 90 Bengals that said, "Can you please just trade me?"
Yeah.
He wants to get paid. I don't think he believes the Bengals are going to do it. They obviously have Joe Burrow. They have Jamar Chase. But look, the Lions just proved the salary cap doesn't exist. You can sign everybody for whatever you want. So T. Higgins wants legit money, and so far the Bengals aren't willing to pay him. So he is apparently not going to be at OTAs. And my guess is he might keep holding out well into camp, if not into the season. Who knows? I don't know.
Hold out for love.
Yeah, hold out for love.
Yeah, man.
But what really matters, finally, is this.
Thank you. When Arnold Schwarzenegger auditioned for the movie Hercules in New York, his agent said he had years of stage experience, implying theater, I should say, when he had only appeared on bodybuilding stages.
Right.
So he had stage experience,
Brilliant.
but not the kind the guy was talking about. Hercules.
Technically not lying.
Sure, right.
Sauce, you have a ton of stage experience.
Yeah.
Everybody does that on their resume, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
right. Yeah.
Marnie.
Hey, hi.
The Timberwolves won.
What? Oh my God. It was so unbelievable. You know what I did after they won? I took my shirt off and I winged it around my head and I went running around in the hallways and I videotaped myself. It was unbelievable.
Did you tackle Brett?
I don't believe you. That would have gone a lot more viral than Max and Hawk and Parker Fox.
What a great day to celebrate. It was wonderful. I was hosting a viewing party at Treasure Island and I was hugging people I had never met before. I was holding hands with people I didn't know their names. We just were all united in celebration. It was glorious.
This is what I love about sports.
Yes,
Right.
correct, boys.
You get to hug women.
Yep.
See Marty topless. That's what I love about sports too, Boney.
Hug women and not tell them your name.
Run.
So you can't get tracked down later.
The Mark Rosen story.
Rosie will be here in 30. The news is next. Marnie Gellner is here between now and 9 o'clock. Of course, we'll get her big-time breakdown on what she thought about Game 7 and look ahead to the Western Conference Finals for just the second time in franchise history. The Wolves and Mavs square off tomorrow night. We'll have Marnes break that down during Fan 5 here in like 20 minutes. But the news is next. Power Trip Morning Show Fan.
The Fan.